Well, hello. I'm Jessica Nova, and you are watching Geek Girls Review. Hello, everybody. Happy holidays, and I hope that this great month of December, which is also my birth month, has treated you well so far. I am going to do a special holiday review of the new movie Violent Night, starring David Harber and John Leguizamo. I have not learned anybody else's names. And technically, I didn't learn their names for this. I knew their names, and then they're in this movie. I have had such a huge crush on John Leguizamo for far too long. Somewhere between The Pest and Romeo and Juliet is probably when it happened. And this movie did nothing but add to it. So before we get too much further, though, I have to warn you. There are going to be spoilers. I am going to try and not give you too many, but there will be accidental spoilers anyway, because I don't know how to review the movie without talking about my opinions and my thoughts, which will contain spoilers. So if you don't want those, go ahead and be gone, little elves. But if you're still here, let's talk about it. So I loved this movie. I giggled so much, and I just giggled the whole movie. And it takes a lot for me to be in a theater and literally laugh out loud. But so many parts of this just tickled me to where I couldn't help giggling. And I expected to enjoy it because it's one of the few trailers I've watched this year. You know me, I don't like trailers because I don't want too much of the movie. And I thought the trailer did a fairly good job of giving me enough without too much. But then after having seen the movie, maybe it still gave a little too much. But I don't know that I would have been as hyped without the trailer containing everything that it did. So I watched the trailer. I was very excited. And when I saw the movie, I was not disappointed one bit. I, aside from giggling, found myself so engrossed in the movie, paying attention to every detail, finding different things that I thought were clever. There are so many clever choices in the movie, things that they do. There's a lot that David Harber does, kind of, even without speaking, walking around a particular scene or just immersing himself in the environment, finding things to play with. It was so captivating. And he's just so great. I even wore my daddy sweater because even though I'm daddy, David Harber is absolutely Daddy Santa in this. And it was ridiculous. The whole movie is ridiculous. Conceptually, it's ridiculous. Actual Santa Claus is kind of burnt out because everybody sucks and kids are assholes, except there's still a good kiddo that wholly believes in Santa Claus, and through Christmas magic, no, I don't know how it works, is able to get a hold of Santa Claus. You know, David Harber. And it's when her family is entirely in peril. And there's armed gunmen, and there is, it's a complete coup, which I don't know if that's correct considering it's just a wealthy family. They make fun of wealthy people, which you know I love, but the characters are also so horrible and so enjoyable that it continues to feed on itself, all the while delivering plenty of holiday cheer. Maybe not in the way that you expect it, but at least in the way that I enjoyed it. So you have this disgruntled Santa Claus, and David Harbour starts the movie drinking. You know, he's Santa Claus in a bar with other Santas, and he's drinking. And the fact that he has actual reindeer and you get to see them, and you see them in the beginning, it is very clearly established that this is actually Santa Claus. Because seeing the trailer, I had a suspicion that that's what they were going with. That's what it seemed like, but you never know. And the fact that you see flying reindeer within maybe the first 10 to 15 minutes, if that, of the movie, you can sit back and go, cool. Santa's about to fucking kick ass. So you have this girl who can get a hold of Santa, through her little magic radio her dad gave her, walkie-talkie. And her and her family are being held hostage. John Leguizamo is such a bad guy. And the fact that him and his entire team have code names that are all Christmas related. Most of them are ridiculous and make me giggle. You see, I giggled a lot. However, John Leguizamo's character hates Christmas, and it comes up multiple times. It even gives you a backstory on why he hates Christmas. But his code name is Scrooge. And they make a good joke out of like Santa versus Scrooge, and that has a lot of play. So it was a very conscious choice. And I really dug that. Here's definitely one of those spoilers. One of the scenes that I just ate up was David Harber fixing a wound that he has. And he's using like ornament hooks, and I can't remember if it's like, anyway, he uses a bunch of Christmas things to fix this. He's also so hot, and so weirdly hot as Santa Claus. I enjoyed that way more than I thought I would, because like I said, I actually really don't like Santa Claus most of the time, but I really like David Harber, so that part was great. And there's also a running joke through the movie where Christmas magic will make something happen, and even he will say, I don't really know how it works, or it allows the ridiculousness to take place without taking itself too seriously. And there are some moments that are absolutely fucking bonkers ridiculous. And I also really enjoyed the world building that allowed other holiday movies to be in it, like to kind of give a callback. So like Scrooge, or there's Home Alone conversations that happen in reference to the little girl having watched Home Alone. And then you have all this booby trap gloriousness. Your bad guys are they're all terrible, but almost endearing, but mostly terrible. Which you can't argue with that. You want to dislike your bad guys, especially in a Christmas movie, because somebody trying to ruin Christmas is just the worst. However, I would let John Leguizamo basically ruin anything he wanted. Because he's great. So what else? Besides me just talking about how great everybody is. I think what I really enjoyed was that it had all the elements that I like in a Christmas movie without being too much of any one. Like, it wasn't overly family oriented and a little too sweet and squishy, because I don't like holiday movies like that. It was funny, and the little girl, she was able to kind of add that childish charm without it feeling like a kid's Disney or a kid's Christmas movie. But I have a problem with movies like Bad Santa, because it's almost too vulgar to me for a Christmas movie. And so to have that action, where there's cursing and stuff, but there wasn't like vulgarity. There was gratuitous violence, which was badass. They do so many cool things. Even the backstory that they have for David Harber's Santa is interesting. I found myself interested the whole movie. And that was kind of, that just surprises me. Normally, I get bored, or I get distracted, or any assortment of things can happen when I'm trying to watch a movie. And not this time. I was entirely immersed and able to enjoy it. And it really did give me a whole hell of a lot of holiday cheer, because I just wanted to see what was going to happen next. I allowed myself to have the entire roller coaster of feelings, the worry, the stress, the will they, won't they, how's it going to play out? And even though I thought the trailer maybe it gave plenty of the plot without giving too much away, I appreciated that. I felt like I knew what I was going into, but was still able to have plenty of surprises. So yeah, I give this movie, as far as a holiday movie, it's a 10 out of 10. I don't know what I would rate it if it wasn't the holiday time and I wasn't quite in the season, but I still think it would rank somewhere between an 8 to a 10. It was that enjoyable. Like I said, it takes a lot for me to focus and to laugh throughout an entire movie. There's one scene at the beginning that involves vomit, and I don't like vomit, and even though I thought it was hilarious, there's a little too much bleh, and I felt like, oh no, am I going to dislike this movie? But that was not the case. That was really the only moment, and it's not that bad. It's just fair warning. There's a little bit of vomit at the beginning, and it looks very realistic. Yuck. Not the Christmas spirit. There's so also one final thing that I wanted to point out that I love is in the Santa Claus. One of the things that I enjoy the most is when you have Tim Allen's Santa Claus trying all the cookies, and he has kind of a reaction if the milk isn't one he doesn't like, or if the cookies are burnt. And this took that one step further, and it kind of reinvents that joke, I think, which, you know, that was kind of my criteria for Santa not being sure how he liked cookies. I don't know that there's a whole lot of other movies that do that. However, like I said, it takes some of these tropes and freshens them up while not disconnecting them from kind of the points that you love about holiday movies. And I really suggest going to see it. If you have time, try and see it before the end of the month, because after the new year, it probably won't be as festive. So don't miss out. Take the time to go see Violent Night starring David Harber and John Leguizamo. Excuse me. Make sure you like and subscribe, or like and subscribe. I never know which one it is. Make sure you follow me on Instagram at @thejessicanova. Check out all my sets and all the other great deities on mygeekglory.com. And if you love cats, I just started an Instagram for my cats. And it's, I'm pretty sure it's just Jessica Nova's Cats. Anyway, if you follow me on Instagram, you'll see it. It's obviously brand new. I have one photo up and I can't remember my name. So anyhow, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you go see the movie. I would love to know what you think. And if we don't talk before then, happy holidays, and I will see you in 2023. Bye!